Okay, ladies and gents, we are live. A big welcome back. I know it's been a few days since I've been on, but for very good reason. Now, we're going to talk about a topic today, which is, this is getting worse. You would think at this point in time now that this would be getting better, it would be improving. This is actually getting worse, and it is all about the retail apocalypse that's going on. Now, you've probably seen a lot of media about this, and they love making up excuses. And what do they say? Oh, it's because of Amazon, it's because of robots, it's because of AI. They're using even in the UK, they're saying it's because of the rain. The rain is causing thousands of stores to close. It's the rain that's causing the high street to just disappear and become abandoned. That's what they're saying. Do you realize it rains in the UK like all the time? It's only really the summer you get a bit of a break. Even then it sometimes rains. So the stuff they are coming out with is unbelievable at the moment. So I want to go through some of the data. As you can probably see, I'm not doing a video every single day at the moment. I prefer to do one higher quality, higher sort of input research video at the moment, as opposed to just a quick one every day. And the other reason for that, and again, we'll go into the retail stuff in a second, the apocalypse going on. The reason why I've been building this program for you, and it takes me about a year, by the way, minimum, to make a program. So this is the other reason. We're going to pre-launch on the 1st of July. So get ready for that. It's going to be exciting. Okay, let's get into now then what is going on with all this, because it is unbelievable. And we'll go UK. We'll look at we'll start with the US. We'll look at the UK, and then we've also got Europe. We've got Australia. It's happening everywhere. So let's start with this article. US retail bloodbath continues as store closures hit 2,600 so far this year. That is just half of the year, may I add. Half of the year. Macy's, Walgreens, CVS, Family Dollar, Walmart, 7-Eleven. Hold on, how are they closing? How can a 7-Eleven close? That defies economics. Oh, goodness. So here it is. Here's all the big names. Even Foot Locker said they are closing shops. But discount stores like Family Dollar and bankrupt 99 cents only have been worst hit, as have drugstores like CVS and Rite Aid. So this is what they're saying. If the closures continue at this same rate for the rest of the year, they would total 7,800 this year in 2024. How is this not front page news on every media outlet? That's a 40% increase on 2023. And 2023 was bad in terms of closures. What do they say? They make up all these nonsense excuses. Why is it? It's because of online competition. Yes, it's the robots coming for all the retail. Oh boy. Yes, of course, it's the robots. This is the US store closures by week. And by the way, don't forget what Biden says. This is the greatest economy in US history. I have to laugh every time I think of that clip. And it's like, have you seen the data? Or this is the great, he keeps going with that same line all the time. Yeah, it's the greatest economy, really. Look at these store closures. Look at them. They are accelerating. It's not decreasing. This is unbelievable what is happening. For a Walmart to close down, that I can't see some of this stuff. I really have to dive deeper into a couple of them, like the 7-Eleven and Walmart, because it just defies economics for these things to go out of business. The retailer with the second highest number of closures was 99 cents only. In April, it announced it would close all 371 of its locations, blaming high inflation and rising theft. This is the big one they don't really want to focus on. It's rising theft. And it's very simple. Do you know what? I really don't get why they don't take care of this problem. If I were in charge, the first thing I would do is I would change the laws on retail theft. I wouldn't make it a misdemeanor. Oh yeah, you can steal $1,000, some places $2,000. You can steal that and it's not a felony. You can just do it, little slap on the wrist. That's insane. Imagine you did $2,000 in one store. You then went to the next store, $2,000, the next store, you could do like 20 grand in a day and it's not classed as a felony. And they wonder why crime is so high, and it's accelerating. The woke ideology that's coming in is baffling. Like, I look at it and I say, hold on, they're going to do classes for criminals. What are they calling these classes? They've got some, ridiculous name for these classes. So if someone gets caught stealing 10 grand, 20 grand, they're going to get them in a class. A bit like if you speed and you get points on your license, you go to one of those classes, you learn, don't speed, etc. Not that I've ever been on that. Let me just say, no points on my license. Right. So they've got these classes for criminals, criminal gangs, some of them that have crossed over the border as criminal gangs to steal, and they're going to put them in these classes. Right, seriously, these people are crazy. These leaders are crazy. It's unbelievable to me, all of this stuff. So you've got all these closures going on. Look at them. This is nuts. This is just the US. We're going to do UK, which you'll be shocked at as well. Family Dollar, Dollar Tree, 99 cents, CVS, 7-Eleven, Rite Aid, Express, Walgreens, Macy's, The Body Shop. I think they've gone bankrupt, haven't they? The Body Shop. Soft Surroundings, Sleep Number, Burlington stores. This is just disappearing. This one as well. This is what the Independent has said. I used to like the Independent, and oh hello, what's this now? What are the Independent doing? They're virtue signaling here. Look at their new logo. Oh my goodness. Anyway, dear me. Help us out here. Inflation has beaten down consumers, forcing Americans whose salaries have largely not kept pace to rethink how and when they shop. This has pushed some already struggling retailers and restaurants to the brink, sparking a rash of bankruptcies and the closure of nearly 3,200 store locations in 2024. Well, it's not just inflation, it's also theft, or what they call shrinkage. They love this term. This represents a 24%, it's actually 30%, but anyway, increase in store closures over the same period in 2023. So they've got all the different store closures. Red Lobster, that was a funny one when we covered Red Lobster, wasn't it? It was because they didn't track the $20 unlimited shrimp deal. Yeah, of course they didn't. They just forgot to track it for 9 months, and then they realized they'd lost 100 million or whatever the number was. I mean, no one tracked it. They just realized at the last minute, oh my goodness, we're bankrupt. We didn't track this $20 shrimp deal, unlimited shrimp. All these people came in and they just ate all the shrimp. And it sent us bankrupt. Okay, sure it did. Okay, so I went on fact check because I know some of you guys love the fact checking. US retail crime hits 112 billion with a B as states ramp up penal measures. So here we go. I made sure to get a left-wing article here. Otherwise, people will accuse me of being hard right. Oh, this guy's a hard right. Everything's hard right. Okay, this is a hard left. Okay, according to the most recent report from the National Retail Federation, based on data from 2022, stores lost over 112 billion to retail theft, because we haven't got 2023 stats yet. But I bet you it's probably going to be about 150 billion for 2023. So this was an increase from 2021 from 94 billion. This trend of revenue loss to theft has been steadily rising since 2016. Interesting. Additionally, retailers reported an average inventory shrink, their favorite word, primarily driven by theft of 1.6%, slightly up from last year, but consistent with figures from 19 and 20. Nonsense. Now here we go. Cities like, I can't believe it, Los Angeles, Oakland, San Francisco, New York. I cannot believe it. They have the most retail theft. I cannot imagine why that is. I would have thought it would be, something like Nebraska, Idaho, these sort of places. No. For instance, a new law in Oregon, is that how you pronounce it? Effective since January, I always get that state wrong. Effective since January, imposes a presumptive sentence of 24 months in prison for organized retail theft. Good on them. This is what they need. And if they haven't got enough prisons, they should build more, because the only way you're going to stop this is to increase the penalties. You make it a misdemeanor, people are going to keep doing it. It's obvious. Similarly, the Virginia legislature passed a law this summer classifying theft of goods worth $5,000 or more with intent to sell as a Class 3 felony, carrying a prison sentence up to 20 years. Good on them. This is how you bring down crime. You increase penalties. Additionally, Ron DeSantis of Florida has announced proposals to classify retail theft as a first-degree felony if committed with a weapon. I mean, surely that should be the case anyway. Oh my goodness. Or by individuals with prior convictions, potentially resulting in up to 30 years in prison or fines up to 10 grand. Finally, someone is starting to do something about this. I also grabbed Capital One shopping, so I made sure to grab something that people can't complain about. So we've got a very, very accurate data reporting here. So here's the highlights. Stores lost $121 billion in 2023. This is on their stats. It's not 100% accurate yet, but let's just go with this, 120 billion. Projections indicate shoplifting could cost retailers over 150 billion in 2026. Well, let's see what happens in November. Let's see who gets elected, because under Biden, it will probably continue. I mean, I don't know. If Trump comes in and he decides to get tough on crime, let's see. Let's see what happens. But I think if you get tough on crime, this is going to come down dramatically. So retailers lost 112 billion in gross revenue and 85 billion in fraudulent sales returns. That is mainly a US thing, though. I mean, I didn't really hear about returns, this stat. It wasn't even on any of my data until I started looking into the US stuff. In 2022, shoplifting losses grew 19.4% year over year. As a share of retail sales dollars, losses to theft increased 10.5%. The average shoplifting incident cost retailers $461. That's a lot. $461. Gosh, back in my day, it was something like a pack of chewing gum, a 20p package, or a chocolate bar, 30p chocolate bar. That was about as extreme as it got. I remember a kid at school, he stole 2 chocolate bars one day. Police came to the school and arrested him. I mean, it's a different time period now, but that's what it used to be like. In my day growing up, you steal something, you're in big trouble. The police are going to arrest you. You steal $1,000 worth of stuff today. Oh, you caught police. I've just been robbed. Yeah, did he have a weapon? Yes, he did. He had a weapon. I got robbed with a weapon. Right. Was it a semi-automatic rifle? No, it wasn't. Okay. It wasn't serious then. I mean, the stuff today is crazy. Here we go. Stores catch shoplifters roughly 2% of the time. I don't believe that at all. I think they probably catch them 50% of the time or more, but they can't actually physically touch them. And to be honest, in this day and age, I don't think I would either. Why do that when something bad's going to happen to you? Retail sales revenue lost to theft. Look at this increase. Is it any wonder, with the relaxing of law and order, that this is increasing? No, it's not. This is such common sense. It's laughable, really. 9% of Americans shoplift. Juveniles aged 12 to 6 are most likely to shoplift. again, this is really weird to me. 1 in 4 juveniles shoplift. It's really weird to me to see this sort of stuff in America, the most wealthy country on planet Earth, that this takes place. It's somewhat baffling, actually. Organized retail crime. Yes, we know this is happening, and it's gotten worse since the border's been wide open. Fact, you can fact check all of this stuff. What is most stolen? What items are most stolen? Apparel, athletic clothes, denim, graphic t-shirts. That's an interesting one. Electronics, mobile devices, tablets, audio, batteries, health and beauty, body cream, body wash. Really? Someone's stealing body wash. That I can't get my head around that one. But this is the one that really I find strange. Bedding. Like, how on earth? I'm trying to get my head around this, right? Let's say you got a double bed. You need a new duvet. How on earth do you grab and the pillows, and you get your sheets, you stick that on top. You got your double pillows, your sheets. I mean, how do you just walk out of a store with all this stuff? I don't get that one. Candles. Who needs candles? Right? We got lights. I mean, we got modern day electricity. Who's stealing candles? I don't know. I don't know. Now, this is one I can understand, right? I was reading a study on this, so I can understand this. Children's items, diapers, infant formula, especially during the lockdowns and things like that. These things were very difficult to get hold of. The prices increased dramatically. I actually looked into depth on this, and it was really quite shocking. Some of the companies here, they had the products, and they were creating, not all companies, there was a couple of main culprits. They were making a deliberate shortage in supplies of certain products that are used by babies. I mean, this is how sick some of these companies are. You remember the formula shortage as well. You couldn't get formula. People were buying it in bulk and then reselling it for 10 times the price to mothers with babies. Some of the stuff that goes on now, it's a sad state of affairs, the world we are living in. It really is. Crime, this is one city that surprised me. Houston. I would not expect them to be on this list. All the others, yeah, LA, San Francisco, Oakland, goodness me. I went to Oakland once before. That was an experience I'll never repeat. New York, Seattle, Atlanta, I mean, all these states and cities, there's no surprise whatsoever. Miami, Florida, yeah, okay. I mean, didn't expect it to be on there, but I can kind of see why. Now, the other thing I wanted to show you before we go into the UK now is $1,000 or more is a felony in Arizona. You can steal less than $1,000. It's not a felony. Same in Arkansas. California is $950. Colorado, this is where everyone should go. Colorado, if you're a criminal, $2,000. You can steal $2,000 and it's not a felony. How? Connecticut, $2,000. Delaware, $1,500. DC, $1,000. Florida, $750. I mean, this just goes on and on. Georgia, $1,500. It goes on forever. But I want to move over now to the UK and what the FT is reporting. The rain. Yes, the rain in April in the UK. I mean, rain in April. April showers. Where did that phrase originate? April showers. Right. They're saying the rain in April deterred people from shopping. Let me think this through logically. Was it that the rain in April deterred people from shopping? Or was it that we're in a technical recession and people haven't got much money? So this is what's happened. I mean, it's pretty obvious. All the economists forecast, I think it was a 0.4% decline, basically. They said it's going to be a 0.4% decline, but then it's going to boost through the year and always everything's going to be great, la-di-da. But actually what we got was a 2.3% drop. So it's meant to be 0.4 and it was 2.3. So that's what you call egg on the face. So all these economists, they backtracked. oh, our forecast wasn't wrong. It was the rain. It was the rain that did it. Of course it was. Of course it was the rain. So here we go. It was all to do with the rain. No one wanted to buy clothing or furniture because it was raining. Now, here's an interesting thing that I'm surprised they would be foolish enough to put in their article. They've actually seasonally adjusted the value and the volume of sales. Why they would put this in there after they've just said it's the rain, I'm not sure. So anyway, here's the volume, and it's completely correlated to the pink line to the blue line. So what's actually happened then? Well, the volume has reduced, but the value has increased. That's the reason. People don't have the money. They've been costed out of buying things. That is what's happening. I mean, we could go on all day with this stuff, but I wanted to show you here all of these clothes. Why do they still keep putting these images on with people? No one's wearing masks, by the way. If you don't live in the UK and you keep seeing all this stuff about the UK and no one's wearing masks. Look, this woman's got gloves on. Look at it. She's wearing blue gloves. No one looks like this in the UK. So just ignore all this propaganda they keep putting out. Okay, full list of high street. Oh my goodness. Stores closing in June, including B&M, WH Smith, New Look. B&M, for this to be closing, I'm shocked. Yeah. The British high street has struggled over the last few years. After the 2020-2021 lockdowns, I'm glad they're actually saying lockdowns, the cost of living crisis has meant shoppers have less to spend, correct. And alongside restructuring plans and high rents, correct, a large number of businesses have been forced to pull down their shutters. Here we go. So this company, or this media outlet, has actually got it right, despite putting some weird pictures on there. According to figures from the Centre for Retail Research, almost 10,500 shops closed for the final time in 2023. 10,500 in the tiny, the UK. I mean, there's hardly any shops in the UK as it is. 10,500 shops closed. And in this 12-month period, 119,000 jobs were lost. 119,000. That means 119,000 people not collecting a wage. And they wonder why people aren't going out spending, because people have lost their jobs. More stores, including some high street favorites, will be closing this month in June. So here we go. We've got B&M. They're closing a load of stores. So this isn't bankruptcy. This is just store closures. WH Smith. They're closing stores. B&Q. Hold on. B&Q. This is your Home Depot in the US, by the way, equivalent. B&Q is closing its store. How? I don't know. They've got a monopoly on hardware. So how that is, I don't know. Marks and Spencer's or M&S. Clark's. This is shoes, nice shoes. Poundland. Poundland are closing. New Look. Lidl is closing. I mean, I don't know. PwC, PricewaterhouseCoopers, then did this really detailed report because they had to explain why all of these failures. Well, they've put it down to one-off failures, restructuring or administrations, and there is optimism that this is unlikely to repeat in 2024. That was one of the worst forecasts I think they've ever done, and this was a while back now in 2023. You can't really get much worse than this as a forecast because it actually increased. This is one of the top accountancy firms, the experts, and they just got it completely wrong. So this is where we are at then. They had 2023. And here's the thing. I don't understand why they put this chart. Maybe an intern did this article. I don't know. But they're saying it's optimism. Everything's strong. Everything's great. Well, the black line is closures. Okay, and this is a chart. Here's your axes. The red line is openings. So, I mean, you could show this, you could teach this in economics to maybe a 13-year-old and they can figure this out. The red line is below the black line. That means, and again, if you just look at the net change here with the orange bars, businesses are closing. There's more closing than there are opening. So how they can say this is positive, I just don't know. These are the top experts, and they're saying this is all positive and there's optimism. I don't get it at all. We've even got in Europe then, creditors approve a rescue for Germany's department store chains. Okay, this is everywhere. It's throughout Europe, it's throughout Australia. They've just announced this big thing. Thousands of Australian companies fold as collapse nightmare worsens is the headline of the video here. So you got this just happened. Well, is this today or yesterday? Australia, I think they're ahead. As the furniture collapses, or the furniture store, this big one has collapsed. So you got all of this stuff taking place everywhere. This is happening globally at the moment, but they're deliberately not connecting the dots on all of this. They're trying to act as this, they get these big reports, or the media puts this thing out, everyone's wearing masks. Oh, this is the reason, it's bizarre what we're seeing. So we're seeing a retail apocalypse sweeping through the Western world at the moment. It's not sweeping through the Eastern world. You look at Asian countries, you look at other countries, it's not happening. It is the ongoing decline of the West. And I don't just think this is due to what's happening with the US dollar. We'll talk about that on Thursday. Something very major has just taken place with the US dollar. And I'll get into that on Thursday, I hope. We'll see how we get on. But I don't just think it's the US dollar. I think there's a lot of things happening, the decline of, you've got all sorts of things coming in that is causing this decline. You've got the decline of ethics and morals and good character traits. And what have we got? And we won't touch on that. We've got a lot of crazy stuff happening. So we have this decline going on, and they can't figure out what's happening. It's like, it's obvious. Go back to what worked before. Crime is increasing because there's no penalties. They say, oh, it's because we haven't got enough prison spaces. Make more prisons. People get upset when I say that. Oh, Neil, have you ever been to prison? It's, it's inhumane. Don't do the crime then. Let's leave it there for today. All right. Thanks for being online. Take care. God bless. I'll see you on Thursday.